Today I'm going to show you how I comb Afghan hair. This is fur from an Afghan Hound, which is a kind of dog. And some people say that you can't spin dog hair, but this you absolutely can, and it's soft and silky and not at all scratchy. And these must be lovely dogs, well taken care of, because the fur itself before combing is fairly clean, really clean. So this is how it's come, and this has been brushed off the dog and taken off the comb. You can see the little, maybe you can see the spots from the tines. Now you can spin this, but you can't spin it like this. See, it's a disc, and if I tug on it, nothing much happens. It's pretty close to being felted here. But it can be combed with wool combs. These are mine. And the reason that you comb them is because you can take that disc of fur and turn it into top, which is what this is. So you see, this is extremely silky, and it pulls apart very nicely, which is what we call drafting and spinning. And it needs to draft a little bit so that it can be spun properly. So that's the top. That's the first bit that comes out of the combs when you brush. This is the seconds. So you can see it, it comes apart beautifully, so it can be spun easily. But it's got a lot more of these small little pieces. There, maybe you can see that there. So that's going to make a textured yarn. Whereas the top can make a very smooth, uniform yarn. This is going to make something with a lot of character, a lot of bumps. See, it's got short pieces. So that's the seconds. And then the third quality is the stuff, which is what's left in the combs. And you can see this is where vegetable matter, like little bits of leaves, are caught. And it's entirely small pieces, and it can absolutely be spun, but I'm not sure that I will, because I don't really want a yarn with these bits of leaf in them. That's going to make something scratchy in a garment. This yarn was made with the seconds. You can see it's big, it's got really chunky bits, it's got a lot of character. It's soft. This is the other extreme of yarn. This is spun with the top, and it feels incredibly silky. And you can see all of the pieces are fairly uniform, but you're still going to get a little bit of lumps. Ultimately, if you want something with no lumps at all, it's just a matter of how much time you're willing to spend combing. I think a little bit of lump is beautiful. You can see the fur is, the yarn has got a lovely halo on it. So I'll grab a couple of these discs. And I'll fit them onto the combs. Anything that's pretty big, I'll pull right off. This is a little burr or something. It's definitely some kind of plant seed meant to stick in animals' fur. And the more you load onto your combs, the harder it is to separate. Well, the more of the top you'll leave in the seconds. But you don't want to have too little on there either, but you don't want to super load it because then you'll have more waste than need be. There we go, now it's moving through a lot better than it had been. Whoop. There, I've switched them. And we'll go back to the first comb. We'll move them back and forth a few times. Look at that. Beautiful. Let's do one more. One more pass. Alright, I keep combing it now, but there's not a lot changing. What's on this comb wants to stay on this comb. And what's over here is staying over here. So now we'll pull it off. So just grab and pull gently. This is the top that we're pulling off. This is the first quality fur. It's the longest and the smoothest, and it's going to make that uniform thread. And I want to be patient and pull as much of it off as possible, because anything left behind will be destined to be a second, which is cheerful, but I want to get as much top out of the work I've put into combing as possible. Yeah, it's still going. The nice thing about this Afghan fur is that it's not breaking. It not only feels silky, but it's also very strong fiber. It's not snapping and tearing, which means it should be really, really strong wool too. It'll probably fluff out and get fuzzy, get a halo, but it should, whatever it becomes, should be a durable garment. There we go. That's the end of the top off that comb. So now I want to make sure that that end stays on the inside and gently roll it up into a little nest. There, beautiful. I don't want to let that touch the ground now that it's been combed. This is the first comb, I think, pretty sure. It's not pulling out nearly as nicely, it's like really stuck. I'm gonna get a little bit out of this one.